Well, maybe in the future we'll be able to collaborate with something. Sounds
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Tammy.
There's Tammy.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing good.
Good. I'm excited.
Reminded me to put my lipstick on. Better go get my lipstick on. No, you reminded me I too, so I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
I'm not going to go put mine on.
Okay. So I think I saw that there was like 8 people who were planning on coming. So
Okay.
I'm going to give everybody just a couple more minutes and then we'll get started.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Okay. I want to be, well, I guess I'll give them to 11:35.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I am excited about this. I am interested to see kind of how it evolves. I have in mind just wanting to use this outlet as like an online coaching program that's included with membership.
Mhm.
And I'm just interested to get everybody involved and feedback and all to see kind of what it needs to turn into. So
Mhm.
we shall see.
I got your email. I haven't looked at it yet. I got your email about the email list.
Good. Good.
So send that out.
Hi, Valerie. Hey, Valerie, how is it going? I'm gonna mute you. There's a lot of background noise. Whew. Okay. Wonder if she's at Bloom. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, look more alive. It's amazing what lipstick will do.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna just go ahead and get started, and if people jump on, great. I am going to mute you guys, but you're more than welcome to participate. So just unmute, and then we can go from there. And we have, Valerie sent a chat to everyone that she's at Bloom. Okay. That is perfectly fine. And feel free to chime in. I have the chat up on the right-hand side of my screen. So, alrighty. So I was telling Mike when Diane stepped away that I'm really wanting to develop this as an online kind of coaching program that is included in membership and that our members can take advantage of and be that little extra support. But I am very open to how it needs to be shaped so that it best benefits all of you. So I am very open to feedback, and if there's particular pointers that you're looking for insight on, please don't hesitate to ask. I thought the best thing to do for our first one is start with networking and how to network effectively. So I taught a 6-week course on building a better network, and I thought that it might be a good idea to kind of break that apart, because obviously we're all a part of a network, but it's important to know how to work it so that it pays off for your business. So first of all, like, are you guys involved in any other groups? And if so, like, in what way? Let me unmute you, Diane. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I have a couple groups up north that I meet. They're women, and we meet once a month.
Okay.
And they have speakers, and they do what's kind of a fast networking introduction. So it's really good. I like it. And sometimes I'll go to Saba based on my schedule. And then the meeting of the minds, I've tried to attend.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So what is one thing that you would like to improve about your network overall? Because really I guess I should back up a little bit. There's really two things that we need to know when we're talking about networking and when we're starting to talk about networking. The first is there are networks, which is the places that we go with the rooms full of people. But then when it really comes to translating that into business, we need to understand that we have a personal network. So we have our personal business, our personal clients, and we need to have a personal network of referral sources and resources that we can refer to our clients. So is there an area in your current network, your personal network, that you feel like you could strengthen, or that maybe you need an extra resource or two? Like, what are your thoughts there? Anybody? Let me unmute Mike. There you
go. We're part of a group that meets at Dogwood Church called Transform Body and Soul. And they have a monthly meeting, and it's all about healthy lifestyle, So that's one group we're part of. And then we're part of organic gardening groups, gardeners who usually are interested in healthy eating. So we network with them, and then we belong to a state organization that is organic gardening, Georgia Organics. That we try to put that information out for our customers, people who are coming here to the farm stand, or people who want to learn how to eat healthier. So, I envision us being able to share with our customers those groups plus Healthy Lifestyle Network, as joining that community.
Okay.
So
perfect.
But what we do need to do is we need to get outside of our current bubble of people that we're reaching right now, because we're kind of going before the same group all the time. We do a weekly email and we're on social media, but we need to break out to a bigger audience.
Okay. So that actually brings me to my next point, which is really to network effectively, you have to have clear growth goals for your own business. You have to know what the package or service is that you're really trying to develop, because that affects the clientele that you're looking after. So for you, Mike, like, you don't need to be in front of just anybody. You need to be in front of people who are interested in signing up for the CSA or who are regularly wanting to take classes. So figuring out what those goals are is really going to make a difference in not only the rooms that you choose to show up in, but also the connections that you're looking to make and the kind of conversations that you have with those connections. So I have a few discussion questions here. So does anybody have particular goals that they'd like to share with the group? And, you know, we're early in the year, but, you know, are you tracking for those goals? What are the items that you're really looking to sell this year? Just if you want to talk about a little bit about that. Anybody?
I'll go. Well, the farm, as far as what we produce and sell, that marketing has been going pretty good, and we constantly sell out of our CSA. I would like to increase our numbers of visitors on the weekend when we're open to the public on Friday and Saturday, but we only have a certain amount of production that we can do. So when we sell out of that, we can't go forward, can't go above that very much. But what Judy and I want to do is increase our reach on the teaching end. So we have a YouTube channel, but we want to start doing weekly videos that would be connected to growing, cooking, and preserving good food. And we've already set up a whole list of classes that we're going to do here on farm. And then we've done a couple of visits, to other groups, and we'd like to do more of that. So we want to expand what we call our, teaching people. We want to expand that part of it, and the revenue from that would be from selling books and from, what we charge for classes, and what we would do for, classes, mean online classes and classes here at the farm. So we have been doing some of that for several years now, but it's just not, we want to expand that to a broader level.
Okay.
Sure. So we're, sometimes we get 15, 20 folks to come to our class here, and that's about maxed out with our facility and parking and everything. But if we can do an online class, and we have a lot of the materials already together, we have a lot of the content, already done from teaching live. We just need to convert that in some online classes that we can do.
Sure. So the key here, talk to me about who the people are that are in the room that are taking the classes, because the more we can understand about them, then we can understand, how to network and what kind of people that we need to plug in so that we can grow. So who is filling the classes?
I've seen two demographics. One is, which is the smaller amount, but it's young mothers who have children, and they're trying to get them started off right, eating healthy, eating their vegetables and eating good food in the beginning. So you have a certain amount of those. But the biggest group we attract are people maybe closer to our age, 50 and older, who are empty nesters. Kids have moved out, and maybe they may or may not be retired, but they've got a little more time on their hands, and they're thinking about their health now that they're getting older, and they want to finish out, in good health, and so they want to start taking better care of themselves. And they may have health issues or something, they're trying to resolve. And so the healthy food, eating right, and maybe a lot of part of their life they were real busy, and they got into a habit where they eat out a lot and bought prepackaged food and that sort of thing, and now they want to change. their eating habits and their buying habits of what kind of food they buy. So we see it in our CSA, the people who buy our CSA. I tell them a lot of times, it's kind of like folks who want to join the gym, they're doing it for health reasons. But then they get the CSA and they get started and they start getting this whole food that they don't recognize quite as readily because it's not in a box, it's not in a can, it's not prepackaged, it doesn't go in the microwave. So, they have to learn how to use it, how to do it. So that's where, Judy's teaching how to cook, and she's teaching, basic cooking principles and simple ways to prepare that food. So we really think our biggest demographic are 50 and older.
Okay.
And people who are interested in improving their health.
Okay. So do you think that is the most profitable direction to focus, or is that just based on who's the largest demographic now? Because I'll tell you what's coming to mind. If you can catch an audience younger that can be more lifetime clients, because now they started out as a young mom, but now coupled with these classes, I now know what to do, and it can be a lifestyle sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Then you've got a longer lifespan on a client,
Yeah, I think that's true. It's what we've, the pushback we've gotten is that they get to a point where time is such a issue with them, that they become disinterested either because they just don't have the time or the, inclination to buy raw food and cook it at home and that sort of thing. So it's not that there are not people that will do that, but that's some of the pushback that we've got. Well, I'd like to do that, but I just don't have time. That's some of the pushback we get. Whereas people a little bit further along in life see the value in it, and then maybe they have the time at that point. So I don't know. We don't want to exclude anybody, but that seems to have been who we've attracted so far.
Okay. All my idea bubbles are going off, but
and we were thinking about doing a class on homemade baby food, where we would, where you take raw sweet potatoes and you blend them and get ready, make baby food from that, and a whole lot of other things. Judy had a lot of ideas on that. We got absolutely zero takers when we did that. So, and that's not to say that we won't try that again, or that's not viable. We just tried it one time and it didn't fly. Okay. But in this, maybe we just don't, maybe we're not before, maybe our audience right now, we're not before the right people, for that kind of.
Yeah, the 50 plus is who saw all that, and they don't have these.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, Diane, talk to me a little bit about your clientele and, who have been your best clients, and who are you working with, and what do they have in common, those things.
Okay. Let me write this down. All right. I've had a gamut of different clients, so I haven't been able as of yet to really zone in on who I'm looking for. When I go to networking groups, most of them are solopreneurs, and their ages maybe 45 and then maybe even younger, that Mike was talking about, that they have some children, and now that they're not in corporate, and they are solopreneurs, and a couple of them have said that I've lost weight, and I want to keep it off. I want to look better in my clothes. Some of them are doing some speaking engagements, so they want to, look and feel better. A combination of the inside out combination. my question is that when I meet people that I've not been introduced to, how do I take the next step without feeling like I'm salesy or, that kind of a non-salesy, but want to start nurturing a relationship. That's where I get hung up
Sure.
with that next step.
So remember Tuesday we were talking about branding, and I asked about what are the feelings that you want your clients to have after working with you, and then what are the results that you want them to have. So talk to me about your thoughts on that.
The results, I want to make their life easier. And I know that's not so much a feeling, it's a result, right?
Easier in what way? Because that's a little
Easier.
bit, let's narrow it down, drill that down a little bit.
Okay. Well, when you wake up in the morning and especially if you've got young kids or a solopreneur, you wear many hats and you don't have all the everything in line. And so self-care becomes a last priority, whether you look your best or you're putting the right food into your body that maybe is quick and efficient to keep them energized for the rest of the day. That would be something that I would want to help them with. Like Mike said, it's a grab and go packaged kind of food. And there's such false advertisements that people believe that they are healthy just by the label. So they grab, and it's not really. So it's more education.
Okay.
So I want them to have a peace of mind, definitely, and have more energy to succeed in whatever they do, and not be labor intensive.
Okay. So your person could potentially be a similar person to Mike's in that it's a mom who's busy, who's wearing a lot of hats, or it could be someone who is starting to get sick of feeling sick, always being fatigued. They're running a business and they're out there, but they're just kind of grabbing and going. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Grabbing and going, and nothing in their closet works well for them, so they're sick and tired of how they feel and what they look like.
Okay.
And I know that's hard because, like you said, those are some deep stuff that goes on, and just by going through a networking meeting may not be the way to uncover those hidden difficulties with them. So how do I approach it without making them feel intimidated? Or like, oh, she thinks I need to lose weight, or she thinks I look shabby in my clothes. I don't want that to be the intent. And so I get freaked out, so I don't say anything.
Yeah. So the first thing that I would recommend, and then we can talk more about this, and I'm going to circle back into networking and what Mike said too, back into networking. And Valerie, I'm about to get to you. But to answer your direct question of how do I take that next step and say something, it ties in really nicely with what Jeff said about leading with your why. But the twist that I will make is leading with their why.
Right.
So their why, so, if you meet someone and may ask you, what do you do? I would challenge you to come up with a sentence that feels comfortable to you, but something like, I help busy moms and solopreneurs or I help busy women who are wearing lots of hats take better care of themselves or find an easier way to take care of themselves so that they can look and feel great. Or I support the mom who is busy taking care of everyone else and help her find the energy so that she can continue supporting everyone else. Now I'm and now I want to know more about what you have. Then I want to know after that introduction. So this is something, because I know you were at that presentation with Jeff. So that's the only reason I'm tying that in. But
It's okay.
this is the piece that I would bridge or add on to what he was talking about what's your why, is when you start a conversation with what their why is, the next piece is then what's your why. So the next thing I'm interested in after you've given me a teaser like that is, oh, well, what does that look like? And then I would follow it up with your journey, Diane. I want to know what led you here. And you can say, well, I was feeling fatigued and always, struggling to kind of keep everything together or manage my busy life. And then I discovered this and I was able to have XYZ results. And since then, I've been committed to bringing that to other people. Oh, tell me more. So you can kind of funnel them in if they're actually interested. And I'm going to pause there and then go to Valerie, and then we can tie all three of you into how that relates to working a room. Okay?
All right. I'm leaving the coffee shop. Can you hear me? Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Hold on. What happened? Oh, shoot.
I muted
Okay.
myself. We can hear you and see you.
Okay, cool. So I would say the people that I have worked with have ranged from anywhere to 20 to maybe 45. Some of these people have been people who have gone to doctors and they're still not feeling better, and they're kind of wanting to know more about integrative health. So an alternative approach because they're not feeling better. Or I see people who have tried everything and like this is their last resort.
Okay. About any specific, do you have a special diagnosis? You're like, I'm really great at helping people when they have XYZ allergy or condition.
So my specialty would probably be autoimmune conditions. Not any specific one, just because a name is a name to me. I'm really just kind of looking at your symptom and how to rebalance the body. Mostly women. I see a lot of people with hormone issues, so that's a big one that I would say I specialize in. I don't diagnose or treat or anything like that. It's just really trying to help people kind of rebalance the body. So certain things I may not be able, like I can't diagnose you or anything, but just really, I would say autoimmune conditions, hormones, detoxing the body.
Okay. So talk to me about the lifestyle, or tell me a little bit more about this individual, the client that comes to you. And if you've got like a favorite client or two that comes to mind, talk to me about that person.
So it's usually a mom. She's doing a lot. Has a lot of hats, and wants to feel better. But, again, the time, it's not cheap either, to have supplements and do testing and things like that. So really just someone who is trying to prioritize and feel better. You know, they usually have a couple things going on, but I usually try to narrow it down to, okay, what's your most important thing? Like, what, if you could have better, what would be that one thing?
Okay. Cool.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right away, this is beautiful because unexpectedly, you guys are all making my point for me. In that, when you are focused on what you have to give and what you're offering, and are able to communicate that, right away, all three of you have a similar demographic that you're trying to reach. So, and that's the biggest thing when it comes to effective networking is finding those similarities so that you can create opportunities for collaboration and for referral opportunities. And yeah, like, so this is something that's important to realize too, that there are two kinds of rooms that you can walk into. There's rooms that are primarily referral sources and gate openers, and then there are rooms with potential clients. So HLN, for most of all of us, is a room full of gate openers and referral sources. So the kind of language and conversation that we have with them is going to be different. We're going to be talking more like this. We're going to be talking high level about the kind of clients that we serve and the results that we deliver. Because when you're able to communicate that I'm really trying to work with moms who are busy on the go and need to feel better, Diane goes, well, is there an area that I can help with that? Or, you know, Diane has more than just weight loss as a part of what she has to offer. So is there some room for collaboration there? You know, is signing up for the CSA a great, you know, option for healthy organic vegetables and foods that can help support detoxing and maintaining a clean body? Like, you know, we can realize where there's those opportunities in the room when we're talking about our clients and their results versus us. And our, like, we first started talking about our goals, and that's lovely, and sometimes our goals align too, but when we talk about our clients, then we can really get more referrals. The language we use when we're talking to potential clients is a little bit different. We're still going to be talking about what their why is. We're still going to frame that person that we're looking for, but we're going to use a little bit different so that they're able to either identify themselves as one of those people, or, oh, I know Sally. She's a busy mom who just had a kid 6 months ago. So the more that you can paint that picture when you're in a room too, and somebody asks you, what do you do? And you say, well, I help new moms who are concerned about starting their child off, you know, healthy from the get-go, or moms who, when do babies start eating more real food? Like 6 months-ish, like 3 to 6 months-ish. So like, if you can even get 6 months, get super specific like that, like, you know, if you know of a mom who just had a baby 6 months ago or whatever, like, those are the kinds of conversations that are going to make you coming to a lunch and learn filled with 30 people profitable for you, because you, hopefully the content was good and applicable, but you were able to have productive conversations and then walk away and hopefully be able to then set up a time later to collaborate and go, you know, it seems like we both, you know, want similar results for our clients. Maybe that's the common thing. Like, maybe your businesses you're not necessarily going to partner together specifically, but you can say, you know, Valerie and Diane, your results and what you want to give back to your clients is very similar. So knowing that is going to make it easier to refer. And of course, you've got to get to know each other better, but it at least starts that conversation. So what is everybody's thoughts on that? Go, Diane.
Okay. I think that's great. I don't know Valerie, so I'm excited to know that I met her through here because I've not met her, know of her. So that's great because she offers a lot of good knowledge. And one thing I was thinking for Mike as we were talking is that the lady that was at the meeting of the minds, Leah,
Mm-hmm.
she's so concerned. Her young son's diagnosis was he's extremely allergic to many, many foods. In fact, she constantly has to give them an epinephine. I think that's not the name of it, but a shot. So for you to and your wife to maybe meet with her and seeing her goal is to get out to churches and schools and how they can protect their children. So if perhaps you might have a way for you to all collaborate to know that these are truly organic foods with all the processed things about them and offer ways that their children can eat better while at school or at birthday parties or something like that. And another thing that I thought of, if you talked about the baby food, I can't remember the movie that this lady left corporate and she made the homemade baby food. I don't know if I can't remember how it was quite a while ago. And to meet with pediatricians whose moms are concerned and perhaps just leave a flyer or set up a meeting with their clients, just to get another demographic. But they go to pediatricians from day 0 to all the way to, I think, age 18 now. So I don't know if that's a thought that you've had with that, but those are two things that I thought might help you collaborate.
That's awesome, Diane. That ties into my next point of really taking a minute to think about the person that you've described, your ideal client, based on the ideal package or service that you're offering and trying to grow. What is their, I want to say what is their story, but that's not really the right language, but really what's the path that they're following? Who else are they in contact with? And your point about pediatricians, that's exactly what I thought of too. So when you aren't necessarily having a conversation with somebody that you click with, like maybe it's not readily clear, but you're looking to find people, and that's when you can clearly have in mind who that person is that you're looking to connect with, and you think about where else are they. They're at the pediatrician's office. Is there somewhere else that they are? Is there someone else that they're interacting with? Are they part of a mommy support group? Are they part of I mean, it doesn't matter. It depends on obviously who the person is, yes, but you can start figuring out where you need to find those people. And then for us at HLN, as we grow, not everybody can come to everything. The days and times don't work for everybody. So there are really awesome people who their schedules aren't going to permit them to ever make a lunch and learn, but they're super credible. But you can now, with that insight, kind of go through the directory and think, who else might be interacting with my people? And when you can reach out to our members, it can be simple. It can be an email even, but you lead with, this is who I am. This is my clients, why. This is why I love serving them. I'd love to connect to learn about your business so that we can, know more about each other to make connections for each other. Because the truth is, showing up in the room and sitting at the table isn't going to do anything for you. That's not going to put money in your pocket. I mean, maybe you learn something great from the presenter that you can apply, but it's having these kinds of conversations. And because of the framework of this network, while we need people in the room, and so we want everyone who can to come to these events because having those kind of connections in person is best, but you can certainly start the conversation, you know, via an email or a phone call, and then schedule a time to meet up with people. But you have to understand who your fellow members are before you're ever going to be able to, you know, be able to connect them, and before they're ever going to be able to connect and refer you as well. Hey, Jill, it's great to see you. So I'm going to unmute you, and we have been talking about effective networking. So, and we've been also talking about who our kind of ideal clients are and how, you know, where we're wanting to grow our business. And so do you have any thoughts that you'd like to add?
Well, first, let me apologize for joining late. I was stuck in a meeting at the yoga studio and was like, I gotta go.
Okay.
So glad to be here. I don't know who all is here. Who's in the call?
So Valerie Kirkland is
Hi,
on,
Valerie.
Mike Cunningham and
Mike.
Diane Morris.
Okay. Hey, guys.
Sheila was on, but she had to pop off. So
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Great. Well, that's really awesome. Glad to be on this call with you guys. So my, marketing isn't really something I think about, which is why I'm trying to start to come to these things so that I can learn some more. I don't really see myself looking for an ideal client, because I think that that through iRest we can really reach everyone. And while I really like the idea of working with people who are dealing with some tension or anxiety or PTSD, or any other insomnia, any other issues, but iRest is beneficial for everyone. And I've found so far that I get a wide variety of people who show up, and they may show up for a long period of time, or they may show up once or twice because they just felt really stressed that day and really just needed a break, or to have the iRest just as a rest. And then some people who tend to stick around longer. So I don't know. I haven't really thought about marketing.
you and I need to get together.
I know.
So the first thing is, everyone is no one. Everyone translates as no one when it comes to networking, because while I agree, it can be beneficial for everyone. So can eating healthy. So can getting fit and, detoxing regularly. But when we're really trying to market ourselves and grow our business, we've got to get more specific, because we need to be able to have somebody come to mind. When you paint a picture of, we've been talking about moms, because all three of these lovely people have serve a demographic that moms work. So when you paint the picture of a new mom with a 6-month-old who's concerned about eating healthy, now all of a sudden my brain is going through, who do I know? Or I know someone, but their kids too. Does that still qualify or no? Like, I know someone, but that's trying to have a baby. I mean, like, our brain filters. So when you paint the picture of who you're really wanting to work with, then the person that you're speaking with is automatically filtering, is that me? Is that not me? Who do I know that might be? Does that work or doesn't this? And so then I ask, oh, well, I've got a friend and she's been toying around with going vegan or something. Would that be a good fit for you? And Mike would be like, yeah, that's great. So we need to, you and I can one-on-one workshop what that might look like for you. And really what it needs to center on is who you love serving most. So when you've got if you really love helping people with PTSD and seeing the transformation, that just fills your soul. Like, yes, you love helping everyone because that's who you are and you have a huge heart. But, what about your journey brought you to iRest, and how does that translate in how you serve and teach and practice iRest? And then it's based on your passion that we figure out who we're going to go after. because when you're passionate about it, those people are really going to connect with you. That's what makes them ideal. It's not that we, out of a hat, painted a picture of, you know, a soccer mom with 2 kids in a white van. You know, people talk about building an avatar or for an ideal client. And to some extent that can be helpful. But really, when you start with you and your passion, and then your passion and then your business goals, then the who becomes plainly evident. And then they're naturally attracted to you because of what you're putting out there and because you're showcasing your best self.
Okay. So what comes to mind to me when you're saying all those things is to really work with people dealing with grief and trauma.
Okay, that's awesome. So then how that translates into networking is when we talked a little bit earlier on about introducing yourself or having conversations and leading with your client's why. So Diane was concerned about how does she, because she, it's Octavia, yes? It's a program that helps you lose weight, maintain weight loss, and
Mm-hmm.
it also has some other components to her business as well, where she helps women feel good. And so she's like, but I don't want, it can be a kind of touchy subject. I don't want people to think that I'm telling them that they need to lose weight. So how do I bridge that?
Mm.
So when you're talking about, I'd love to help people who struggle with grief, lead with the client's why of why they would want to do iRest. So you could say something like, I am great at helping people navigate the turbulent waters of grief, you know, recent or past, or, oh, well, how do you do that? Then you lead with your why. Well, I discovered, you know, this practice that helped me have XYZ results, and I love sharing that with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so naturally leads to a productive conversation that's either going to, you know, you'll be able to figure out if they're interested or not, but they're going to know quality information about you that then it automatically establishes credibility because of how you've positioned
Gotcha.
it. That they're willing to start talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are 2 kinds of rooms that you can walk into. You can walk into a room full of potential clients, or you can walk into a room of potential referral sources and gate openers. And HLN should be considered the latter. We are majority potential gate openers and referral sources. Not that we won't be clients of each other, but the kind of conversation that you have. So when you're communicating to Mike and Diane and Valerie about, well, what is iRest, you now position it from, well, iRest is a meditative tool that helps people navigate, or I love to help people navigate through grief or whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how, I don't have all the right words, obviously,
Yeah.
but it helps you. And then, you know, if you're talking to someone and you talk more about the grief side of things, or more about, you know, what that person looks like, then they can go, oh, wow, that's super interesting. I have someone, you know, who might be interested in that. Or maybe there's an opportunity for collaboration because I'm a counselor and I work with people who are struggling with things like that. So then that sparks those productive conversations.
Gotcha.
Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. But then I don't know. I think a lot of people who come to iRest aren't there because of grief. They just like, oh, that sounds great. I'd really like to just relax. So then aren't I then leaving them behind?
Oh my gosh. I love you. No. Okay. So first of all, especially when something like what you do can serve so many different people, but it's the same thing. So you're doing the same thing, you're serving different demographics. We can incorporate that in your brand messaging. And what I would do is have you focus on 3. Let's narrow it down to 3. And so this is totally more into like my branding workshop and how to like work through that and clarify that and some people can focus on demographics. Some people need to focus on different services anyway. But the principle is go for gold. That's my third principle of effective marketing. And going for gold means that you find the people that you're most excited to work with and go after them. And then go after those gold referral sources who are already interacting with those people. But the thing is, when you do that and you're showcasing your best and what you're most passionate about and what is going to make you the most money, other people are going to be attracted. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to work with a silver or a bronze person or somebody who is only going to show up once or twice. You can still serve them, but where you're focusing your energy and your efforts is towards that higher goal. So you're always feeding that larger purpose. And when you are showcasing your best, more people are going to be attracted. And more people are going to be attracted to maybe put themselves and groom themselves up to be in the level that is a gold standard for you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be all grief. But we can workshop through what a couple different things might look like. And yeah, and you can make those connections for everyone.
Gotcha. All right. That's something to think about. I'll mull that over for a little while.
Yes. Diane has a question. Hang on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you define that there's two different ways to kind of work a room, whether they're your referral sources or your clients. How do you phrase the same message because you're not real sure? Especially I'm thinking about my e-networking, e-women networking group. They can be collaborators, they can be referrals, and they can also be clients. So do you phrase a message the same, or am I looking too deep into it?
So you're right. I mean, there's never a room that's 100% one or the other. I mean, because anybody, I mean, in a group like that, like I've taken Jill's class, you know, so I could be a client. But you want to look at what's the nature of the structure of the group and the room that you're in. So I've been to eWomen, they're awesome. But primarily that group is structured to help build and support each other's businesses. So I would treat that as a referral source room. And the thing is, when you are clear on who you're serving and what their why is and what your why is and how you do what you do, if I am a potential client, I'm going to be attracted because you didn't pitch me. Like if you're treating me like a referral source and educating me as a referral source, that's still going to give me the same kind of information that I'm going to need to choose whether to be a client. And I might even be attracted more because you treated me on that professional level first. And I got to know you on that professional level first. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that's really clear for me. So then it would be, who do you know? Or just who do you know who blah, 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 blah. Is that how, and then they would say, oh, well, I'd like to know more, or let me think about it. Is that how you would take that sentence?
Sure. I would say something like, who do you know makes me answer you right now? And maybe I'm not comfortable doing that. Maybe I don't know anyone, or maybe I don't know you well enough to work over my network yet. I need to interact a little bit more. I need a little more information. So what I would say is, I am looking for people who blah, 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 blah. And then you go from there. And then you can also have a sentence about the kind of referral partners you're looking for. So I am looking for professionals who are interacting with, and spit out your demographic, and then people are more likely to do lateral, like professional to professional connections than work over their private network that they've built. So you can even do that too. I'm looking to collaborate with professionals to create opportunities for this demographic.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Cool. So we've got about 5 minutes left, and I feel like I have been like the fire hydrant. So, and this is recorded, so I will try and get this posted either on Facebook or on our website soon so you can rewatch it. But does anybody have any thoughts or last minute questions, or this was helpful, this wasn't helpful, any feedback? I am open to it. So now's your time. Mike's talking. Hold on, let me unmute you. There you are.
Yeah. So I guess we're trying to understand how the best way we can network within Healthy Lifestyle Network. So is it to, and we kind of have two avenues. We have the farm and we're selling, healthy food. And then we have the education part where we're teaching people how to use it, how to either if they want to grow it, that's fine, or if they just want to cook, learn how to cook and preserve and that kind of thing. So we're trying to see within the network, is that how best can we utilize the network to get our message out to the professional members?
Okay. So, so many of our members, and just with wellness in general, nutrition plays such a huge part of it. So, we've got our health coaches that may be collaborating to co-teach a class at the farm or anywhere about, how important nutrition is, but then how do we do it? What's the practical application for it? So, as far as, let me make sure I'm answering the right question. Are you wanting to understand how to make those quality connections through HLN, or are you concerned with how to reach all of HLN?
How to make those connections. I mean, is it better to, we've done some posting, on the Facebook page, that sort of thing. We've come to a lot of the meetings. I still don't really think I've gotten our message of what we do and what we offer out to the professional members in the community. Not necessarily, I know we're still working on reaching all the community members, but I don't think we've got our message out to the professional members.
So just like what we workshopped just this morning, I would put on the group and emails, and when you are meeting people at our events and whatever, hey, we are looking to collaborate with fellow professionals who are working with the 50 plus demographic that are experiencing some health problems and are wanting to kind of take back control of their health and their nutrition, or the moms and young people who are concerned about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And just put it out there, how you want to collaborate, or who you want to collaborate with. And the professionals, if they see it and they're, you've reached them, they're going to filter through again. Oh, that's not me. I don't have those clients. Or that is me. Or that's me personally. I'm interested. What are you talking about? And then depending on the person will depend on the opportunity that you guys can create together. You may co-host classes together, or you may just simply put each other on each other's mailing lists. What that looks like for each relationship can be different, but you can at least kind of lead with your goal and lead with who you're wanting to make connections with, and then the ideas can flow from there. Okay. And you always want to have a value add. So my fourth principle of effective marketing is value first. So whether that be new information that they can share. So it can be something as simple as, hey, we have a monthly newsletter that teaches you 3 tricks every month about how to preserve your fresh food. Would your clients be interested in something like that? You know, it can be as simple as that, or it can be something like an event. I love getting real people in real seats and real interaction personally, but you don't have to do that to have an effective business model either, or referrals. So whatever that looks like, you just want to be cognizant of creating a value and an opportunity so that it's a partnership for both people. And then you both can tap into your prospective networks and no one feels taken advantage of because of how you've structured it. Because even your, like I was talking about with Diane, people are kind of hesitant to fork over their network. But when they feel like they're providing a resource to their people, because you're educating them or you're solving a problem, now me as the professional, I have a value piece that I can add to my network. So it really changes the psychology of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's where our position would be, is we're providing a resource for people if they have clients who are interested in eating healthier or fresher food or organic food or whatever, then we would be a resource that they could say, you know, here's a place you can go get farm fresh food.
Right.
And then you can go to classes and learn how to prepare it. You don't know how to cook.
Yeah. And I mean, we can even talk, if you want to, you could create a sponsorship program for your classes where, you know, 1 or 2 of our HLN members contribute a little bit, and to have a table there. And as long as it's like a sister or something that would be complementary to who you're serving. But, you know, hey, I'm teaching a mindfulness class, and the same person who's mindful of how to preserve their food might be interested in a mindfulness class. And, you know, so they can help support you, and then you've got more, you know, advertising dollars to throw out there. And then they are sharing where they're going to be with their group, and you're, you know, providing new and exciting. It's more than just the farm. You get connected with all these other resources that we have access to too.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? You thinking, Jill?
I'm always thinking. Yeah, I think I'll have to listen to the whole recording so that I catch everything that happened for the majority of the meeting that I missed.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Maybe I'll email you questions later.
Please do. And we can get together in person too, anytime.
Okay.
Awesome. Diane, are you good before we log off? Good. All right. Well, I think I will wrap this up then, because it's 12:33. So we're going to be respectful of everyone's time. But thank you for joining our first Marketing Mentor. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you want to send me ideas of questions that you have that you'd like for us to discuss, topics, ideas of how I can do this better for you guys, or what resources would be helpful for you, please let me know. I kind of have a framework of what I want to do with this program, but I am very open to helping develop it for you guys. So just let me know what I can do. Alrighty, I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you soon. Bye.